If you would like to change the oil of your motor scooter or motorbike, then you might find this video useful. In this case, it is a Yamaha X-City 250. First of all, you should find an even surface to put the scooter on its main stand. That is not that easy, you have to pull. In this video, we are going to focus on the specifications of the Yamaha X-City 250, but if you have any other motor scooter or motorbike, then you can check the specifications somewhere. The basic steps are the same for all combustion engines. First of all, you should start the engine and keep it running for several minutes until it's warm. Now you should use a wrench or something similar to loosen the engine oil drain bolt. Actually, you only have to use it for a short moment, as loosening is going to happen really quickly and sudden, as you can see now. Then you can loosen the bolt by hand. Soon the oil will flow out, and you should hold something under it. By the way, this video should also be interesting for anyone who is following this channel because of an interest for traveling. Some people even take a motorbike to go around the world, or at least to go from one continent to another. And no matter what kind of vehicle you are using, it can also be a car, it is good to have some basic technical knowledge to do some repairs during your journey, for example. You can contemplate such things while the oil is flowing out, which takes a while. In the meantime, you should also clean the drain bolt, just so that it is clean when you put it back in place. When the last drops are coming out, you can try to stop them, maybe even by putting the bolt back in place. The reason for the drops is some oil, as you would anyway have figured out, but in fact there is still some oil remaining in the engine in the current condition of the scooter, which we are going to remove in the next step. So put the bolt back in place, clean everything properly, and then we'll continue with the next step. This thoroughly announced next step is to put the scooter back from one stand onto the other. By closer observation, you might notice that the side stand is on the left side of the scooter, and that is also where the drain is located, which is most likely not a coincidence. Inclining the scooter to the left means that also the oil is inclined to the left, which means that it is going to flow out when you remove the bolt. And here we go. This process should remove the last oil from the sump of the engine. There might actually still be some oil remaining in an area around the piston, and what a piston is will be explained another time. Now you can shake it a little bit so that the last drops come out, and then all the oil has left the engine. Now the oil is in the bucket, in this pretty turquoise one. You can of course also choose another color if you like. The advantage of this is that now you can check whether there are any substances in the oil, for example metal abrasion. That would be a hint to a problem with the engine, what we are not hoping for. So hopefully you won't find anything like that, and you can be relatively sure that the engine is okay. So now you have to clean everything properly and screw the screw back in, which takes a while as the screw is long. So yeah, clean everything properly, because we want that at the end everything is tight and tidy. That's what we all want, right? Now you remove the bucket. Please don't dump the oil somewhere. For the next step, it makes sense to put the scooter back onto its main stand. You already know how to do that, and you are informed about the difficulty level. By the way, on this scooter it is not necessary to change an oil filter. On other scooters, and especially motorbikes, it is indeed necessary. Now again, you need a wrench, but better not the wrench from the beginning, but a torque wrench to fasten the engine oil drain bolt. On this scooter it is necessary to fasten it with a torque of 20 Newton meters. That way you can ensure not to have a correlation between screw and loose, at least on this occasion. Now it's time to fill oil into the engine. The capacity is 1.3 liters. Because some oil might still be remaining in the engine at this time, first of all we fill in 1 liter into a measuring jar. For that we better don't use the oil from before, but fresh motor oil, either of the sort SAE 10W30, 10W40, 15W40, 20W40 or 20W50, better not all at once. And please note, do not use oils with a diesel specification of CD or oils of a higher specification than specified. Now you proceed with the removal of a combination of cover and dipstick. Now you proceed with choosing a suitable filling aid, colloquially called funnel. Best is to choose one with a flexible hose so that it is easier to position it and to fill in the oil. Now you fill in the oil. You should note that oil is not water, so it will take a while to flow in. While the oil is flowing in, here a few technical information about this Yamaha X-City 250. It has an engine with one cylinder, here it is again, with a size of 249 cubic centimeters and a power of 16 kilowatt that were in the past 22 horsepowers. The top speed is officially 125 kilometers per hour, but if you accelerate a little bit more, then you can actually reach 140 on the display. To avoid an overfilling of the engine with oil, you should check the oil level. For that, you remove the funnel. Then you search for the dipstick. When you found it, you screw it back in. When you found it, hopefully, now you found it, and so you screw it back in. That obviously takes a while. Then you screw it back out again, and then you may check if you want to, but actually you should just wipe it and screw it back in again. So clean that a little bit and screw it back in again now, please. Yeah, so you screw it back in again and then it's screwed back in. Then you screw it back out again and then you check the oil level. If it is in the middle of the marking at the end of the dipstick, then it is correct, but most likely it is still not correct. So there's still too less oil in the engine, so you can fill in the rest. For that you put the funnel back in place. Then you fill in the remaining oil into the funnel, which passes it on to the engine. By the way, there is a way to find out how much oil your engine needs, and that is about 1 liter per 500 milliliters of engine size plus about 1 liter. But that is not totally accurate, so you should definitely check how much oil your engine really needs. In case of this scooter, it is also not totally accurate, as it should be 500 milliliters plus about 1 liter, which is 1.5 liters, but the scooter needs actually 1.3 liters. This all was calculated by a brilliant mathematician. The name is known to the editorial staff. Now we come to the calculation of the amount of oil that is currently present in the engine. For that we use a tool that we have explained earlier in this video, and that is called dipstick. It is the same procedure as earlier. You put the dipstick back in, take it back out, wipe it, put it back in, and when you take it back out again, then you can check the oil level. And if the oil level is in the middle of the marking at the end of the dipstick, which you can see when the recording is sharp, as you can see now, yeah, very nice, then the oil level is correct and the oil change is completed. Before you now hastily look out for other videos, here a short note that it is necessary to complete at least one more step. Now we come to the moment when you may start the engine. If the engine sounds normal, at least after a while, then you have done everything correctly and you can proceed with the next step. If not, then the next step is obsolete. This next and last step is to reset the oil change reminder on the display. For that you press both buttons next to the display simultaneously, turn on the ignition, Release the buttons, turn the ignition off, and when you turn it back on, then the oil change reminder should be removed. Now you know how to do an oil change on a motor scooter to keep you mobile. Thank you for watching, and if you would like to know where mobility can take you, you may follow this channel, travel around the world with BP Geographic, and see content about this world and everything in it. See both sides. BP Geographic.